Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is FTB StoneBlock 3. Today, well, I think we're going to take a little break from some tech and going to work on something a little bit more magical. And yes, as you may have noticed behind me, I've got more crushing wheels and a spaghetti contraption going on. Yeah, this is something that's going to have to get fixed. And doggone it, B, why you always do this? What? I appreciate it, but seriously, all the time. I know I can turn them off. I know. But they still give me red matter and dark matter and stuff, so I can't really complain. But I tripled this, and then I redid all of the pipes so that I could still process the same stuff over, plus a few new things. And I made a big mistake last time. I'm sure many of you have commented on this by now. But yeah, I did the recording immediately immediately after the other one and found my mistake. I don't need the raw, or I don't need this process quite so fast. Yeah, this actually has finally caught up because I forgot to put a bucket of water in here. You don't have to put it in any more than that, just the one time, and the bucket stays and the water stays in there, and then it stops this from just being instantly burned up. So it triples the lifetime of it. And yeah, we're probably going to get a backup of this stuff. I have several blocks already in my system. I think like a stack of them or something like that. So there's no worries about that at this time. The dry ice still is actually getting used, but it does take a long time to process. So let's flick this lever here to turn this off. We're going to put half in here, and then turn it back on. And it should automatically just zap a bunch of them and fill this thing up with a few more dry ice blocks. Yep, that's going to last us a very long time. So the chickens are keeping up just fine as well. No issues here. And it's just one chicken each for the redstone and the coal. And I don't need to worry about it anymore. It's done. It's just a matter of, on occasion, I might need to pop in here and do the dry ice thing. I could make an automation for it, but I really don't think that it's worth it at this point. With how slow it uses that dry ice, I think like once every few episodes I'll probably need to come back there and do that. But yeah, I mentioned something a little more magical. I've got a mana mirror, or I've got one saved up here, and I figure this is something that could really be useful for any kind of mana that I might need on my person. And yes, there are different items that I could potentially use besides like a ring of magnetization or the sash that I'm currently wearing. But honestly, I really, really like those. The ring of magnetization from Botania is probably my favorite magnet of all time because of the fact that it has like a delay on it, and it isn't like instantaneous and crazy. It gives you an opportunity, it gives you a visual cues and everything like that. But I figure if I'm going to use any other magical items from Botania, it would probably behoove me to have a mana mirror instead of a mana tablet. And what this does is it allows me to access my entire mana network from one item, and instead of just like almost a half a pool of that's in a mana tablet. So let's start by making one of these things. I don't know if I have enough for this. Let's try. Anything prepped? What am I missing? I'm missing everything except for the mana tablet. All right, let me grab these. There we go. I've got all the items now all set and squared away. I have a mana mirror. Now I just need to link this to a pool. So if I do that, it then tells me that I have this much mana in that pool. But I don't want that one. I actually want this one instead, because this one is constantly going to be the one that is always being fed regardless. This one here spreads all of its mana to the other pools. This one here, I have that spark on it that draws all the mana into it specifically. So now, as long as that area is chunk loaded, I will have mana to feed all of my stuff. So that was a very minor upgrade, but it was one that I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I don't think that I need to worry too much about it. On top of that, we're going to need probably a Tainted Blood pendant, maybe a couple, I don't know, but we're going to need Botanical Brewery. For that, I'm going to need, of course, a mana rune, which I think I now have one here, or a rune of mana, plus some living rock. I know that it needs a brewing stand. Let's see what else it needs. And a block of mana steel. I can do that too. All right, and should I be able to make this? Yep, there we go. One botanical brewer, and I can just put that there for now. I think that that's going to be fine. We're going to need to make Tainted Blood Pendants. I'm going to make a few of them so I can trade them out depending upon the area that I'm in. There we go. I've got 3 blood pendants, and yeah, they're pretty much useless by themselves. I can start looking at a vial of revitalization, which will give me a constant regen 2 effect. I could look at a vial of vigor, which can give me a strength 2 effect, or a vial of magma skin, which can give me a permanent fire resistance. So the vials are easy enough with a simple mana glass recipe. All right, let's start with the vial of magma skin. This takes netherwort, magma cream, and nether rack. Not a problem. So if I put these on here, I'm just clicking them on here, and you can see that they're actually showing up on the pedestals. And then this starts transmitting the mana to it, and then as soon as it's done, it pops off, and pow, I've got it in my inventory. One of each of these, and that should start processing to make that one. In the meantime, I can get set for the last one, which is going to be a regenerative one. Vial, gas tier, netherwort, and glowstone dust makes the final vial. And there we have it. So now I believe I just take the blood pendant and one of these vials of magma skin. No, I guess that's not it. Oh, it would seem that I have done this a little bit backwards. So I made these potions, which, yes, I can use them, and I have 4 uses of each, which is fine. So I could actually use all 3 if I wanted. But, and that one's only 25 seconds. Yeah, I don't think so. Instead, I'm going to get those ingredients again, and we're going to just put these on here. And besides, if you do want these things, you're probably going to want an elf glass flask if you're going to want to go for the temporary effects, because it'll make up to a higher quantity, like 6 instead of 4 from the vials. So they hold a lot more in them, or at least in uses. All right, so I've got a pendant on there. Let's see if this works. My memory apparently was failing me from my previous attempts, but that's fine, because I think it's now currently working. And there we have it, finally, our first one. Tainted Blood Pendant, which gives Strength 2. So if I put this, my necklace slot, I now have Strength 2. And it's a permanent effect, and it's constantly going to be draining mana from the pool that I have my mana mirror hooked up to. At least as long as I have this thing on. Once I take it off, it no longer will affect me. You can see that the strength effect went away as soon as that happened. And that took some time to accomplish, but I now have a Regen 2 pendant that I could use, which should probably be good if I'm fighting something that has Wither or Poison. And then the last one is going to be Fire, but I think I might upgrade this a little bit. I'll take some more Elven Mana Spreaders and put them around here so that I can have this process a lot faster. 4 more spreaders, which I think I can just put, oops, not on top. I wanted to put it, or not in front of, I wanted to put it here. For some reason, these really don't want to place on top of these things. So I have to like kind of jump and place it. And that should work. I don't think any of them are actually missing it. Nope, should work. So now, when I put this last one on here, and I put the ingredients in place of this, this, and this, oh, those are actually hitting the things next to it. Oh, that's kind of sad. I might be able to adjust this. There we go. Now I've got it. I just need to aim it down a little bit more. There. Boy, that was so much faster. By the time I edited that, it finished this time. That was great. Okay, so I now have one that's magma skin. So if I want, instead of regen 2, there we go, I now can have fire resistance, and the regen 2 wears off. Sadly, I can't combine these, but I can at least have them when I need to, like when I'm going into the nether areas. Technically, in a magic means, I've automated a way that I have permanent fire resist, health regen, or strength 2. It's not the best methods, but it's pretty good. It's not like I've gotten into Ars Nouveau, which is what I think I might actually dabble in a little bit, because I was thinking there's Rings of Greater Discount that I could wear as an enchanting apparatus, and most specifically, I want Mage Blooms. The reason being is because look at this, Sourceberry Pie grants mana regeneration when consumed, which is great, and it's even better than the existing Sourceberry rolls that I currently have. But these do require Mage Blooms, and in order to do that, I'm going to need some seeds. To get a seed, I'm going to need an enchanting apparatus and some source gems around it in order to do that. So yeah, I think we're going to do a little bit of this today, not a lot, just a bit. And in fact, I might grab my zappy gadget here and just clear out a little space. Just a little bit more, little more. Actually, I was told that there's a precision mode, which, oh, that's nice. So I could just, as I click, okay, nice. Thank you very much for that, for those that mentioned it in chat. That's really nice for base building instead of base destruction. I think if I press the C key, I can look in documentation. It's just like having the journal or the worn notebook, more or less. And you can have all the information in here about it. So as I know that I need the enchanting apparatus, I think I might start there though. I have no idea if this is actually something I need to do, because the last time I did Ars Nouveau was some time ago, and I was reading the book as I was doing it. I have not done any bit by bits on this mod, but I figure we can give it a try. I know that I've got some of these source gems from bees or other reward pots and things like that. So let's see if I can make some of these arcane stones. Let's make 16 to start. That's a good beginning, I think. Enchanting apparatus. There we go. Done. Okay. And if I set this down, I have no idea how it works. But it did say something about making the seeds, needing that, and these around it. But if I look up in the entry index, I can see that there's an enchanting apparatus. There are pedestals nearby. So it apparently is going to need pedestals in order to have those gems sitting on, I'm guessing. Enchanting apparatus utilizes pedestals and source for crafting. All right, so there's at least pedestals that I'm going to need. Source is going to be a whole different story. All right, I've just made 4 of them. I think that's all I need for this. Yeah, it should be. I hope. In fact, I don't know if these need to be right next to it. Now I need some seeds. There we go. I've got a lot of melon seeds. Put that in place. An arcane core must be placed beneath this block. Oh. And take a look at the arcane core. Okay, that's not bad either. I think I can make one of those. In the meantime, I'll need to make more source gem blocks. Let's make 24 of those to start. Okay, arcane core. Got it. Now this, I think, might hold source, or at least that's what it looks like it might do. Let's get rid of this light now that I've got a light source. And if I put the enchanting apparatus on top, place any number of arcane pedestals within 3 blocks of with their items. Once you have filled the pedestals, use the middle item on the enchanting apparatus block. The enchanting apparatus requires an arcane core beneath it in order to work. Which I only have 4 source gems. I only have 9 left. How do I make these things? With an imbuement chamber from lapis or amethyst shards? Oh, okay. I might need to consider that. Either way, I've got 4 source gems right now. If I use this right now, there we go, then I should be able to do this. Cool. And it's, oh, is it going to try and actually work when there's no source? Or is it just going to do lots of cool particle effects? Because I'm fine with lots of cool particle effects. It worked without any, I didn't even power this thing. I'll take it. Mage Bloom Seed, done. So for the meantime, let's set this down. I also have a hopper botany pot. I need to get a little bit of dirt. I don't think I saw anything that gave it particularly faster speed, or slower for that matter. And then that should probably do it. Just to be sure, let's give it a, oh, it's already got another right upgrade in there. We don't want 2. 1 is fine. And it should be growing over time. Yes, it's growing. It's very slow, but it's growing. So how do I make more of these source gems with the imbuement chamber? And what does it require to make one of those? Oh, thank goodness it doesn't require anything for those. And then I should be able to make one of those. All right, imbuement chamber. I now have it, but what do I do with it? It imbues certain items with source to create new items. The primary way to obtain source gems, amethyst and lapis, may be used to create them. The imbuement chamber will passively accumulate source for recipes. Oh, okay. It processes lapis or amethyst. I think lapis is by far the easiest for me to process. So just by clicking this on there, crafting progress. Add source, crafting source gem. Add source nearby to increase the crafting speed. So I'm guessing when it gets to 100, it will process this. So then I could feasibly have just a lapis chicken feeding into this and have it export into a barrel or something like that. And it should be reaching 100%. Okay, nice. So this can work. I could actually make multiples of these and then have them all pipe in, actually. So I've got a little idea here of something that I would like to try. And I think, there we go, 5 of these. And I could have some item pipes coming down to these into one compacting drawer that I could have at the front. Yeah, I like this. Then I take the pipe wrench, have each of these come out of it, but I will need to have filters on each of these, obviously, or else they're just going to, they're just going to say no. And I only want it to take out this. Then just by adding a little bit of pipe here, I can also get a chicken. In fact, I could move this up a little bit. That looks like it's just going to bump me in the head for some reason. Let's put it up there. And then I can put the chicken in place here. It's going to make the lapis, and I don't actually think I need to adjust these at all. It should just automatically take from those into each of these. Perfect. And then each one will take a little bit of time, but then eventually they'll process into this. In fact, let's mess around with it and just go a bit silly, shall we? I'm going to have this here, and then we can just add in even more pipes. This does mean that I'm going to need more filters for stuff to actually come in and out, but that's fine. I've got plenty of filters. In the meantime, though, I think I need more pedestals to make this ring of greater discount, so I can spam my my spells a little bit more. I know that we have to make, there it is, a ring of potential to start with. And that's just a simple item here. I think it just goes in here. No recipe found. Use. Oh, so I need 4 diamonds, 2 ender pearls, and 2 source gems. Okay, a couple of these, a couple of those, and then 4 of these. Take the ring, and looks like it's going to do stuff regardless. I don't have source being made right now. So it's just going to take a little bit longer, I would imagine, because it's using passively made source. Oh, I guess not. Or it just takes no time at all. But I now have a ring of lesser discount. And where are my ring slots? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I have a slot here that I can put in place and get a discount from. Now, if I have this properly, what am I on? Let's put it on Magic Missile. Let's start using this. And I can zap through it pretty quick. If I put this discount ring on, then I try it. Oh, it's very difficult to actually start doing this. So I think next we're going to try and make that ring of greater discount, which takes my old ring, plus a few more diamonds, blaze rods, and source gems. As before, just putting them on these different pedestals that are close by, and then taking the ring itself, clicking on here, we get the magic fireworks going on. It's a really cool display, and I have to admit, I really do like the just spinny, glowy, it's pretty. All right, now to put this thing on and see just how powerful it is when I start shooting things. I can't even click fast enough to drain my mana anymore. This is a good sign. I know that I was saying I was done with power for a while, but I just did a bunch of magic, and there was something that I just remembered I wanted to do with this, and this is currently the only power I have being used is right here. It's not actually powering anything else. I mean, this is all self-encapsulated as well, but it would be nice if I didn't have to have massive power cables everywhere for things, and I could just plug into a reactor. And I think I can do that with some of the different Powah stuff. We've got not the reactors, not the energy cable. I might need the energy cable. I think it's the ender cells, because these I think store power, and then you can hook up to them the ender gates. I think, I can't quite remember. But either way, I'm going to need some ender cores, which are Eyes of Ender, dielectric casing, and basic capacitor tiny. Let me get those. Pull the lever, cronk, and it pretty much makes it instantly. Oh, I forgot. I don't have this as part of the whitelisted stuff, so let's add this to that. Nice, and now it should end up going over here. Perfect. I'll just make one of those. Apparently making two at a time is not a thing that can that can happen. So let's see. We've got lots of power. This, ooh, look at this stuff. Okay, all right. Hold on a second. Let me take this thing, which is still going. It's at 400 million now. Put this in here. Where did it go? Oh, oh! I think I just clicked it in as a power storage use, and it's on number 1. Okay, so I just put that in, and it is now like absorbing all of the power. Okay, now it's starting to chunk through a bit of power in here. How's it doing for processing? Generating 94k FE per tick. I'm going to try making some ender gates. I don't know if these teleport energy or something like that, but I think that if I make more ender cells and then I make them part of the network, I think that then I can teleport power around from those, but I'm not sure if it's the gates that do that as well or not. Alright, so there I've got a bunch of these ender gates, which I don't know if this is how they work. Let me get something that needs power. Here we go. We've got a nitro battery I can put in here, and you already know that it's going to drain the thing flat. But if I put this on it, oh, that did it. Oh my gosh. Yep. And now it's keeping up maximum speed and recharging this thing as fast as this charging station can go. So now this thing is it's charging stuff. All I need to do is slap one of these ender gates on there. Okay, I gotta try this now. So let's try plopping this down. And it's fully powered. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is great. I can then just remove a bunch of other options. Like this stuff. I can put this diamond chicken away, and the lapidary dynamo and all that stuff can all be put away. And I can then just use this to power things from here on out. So what I'd have to do is put one on each of these, like this. Nice. And then I don't actually need this to connect like that, though. Let's put one here, put one there, one here and here. I think I can even put one on the front of this. Oh my gosh, I can. Oh, this is great. So that really slims things down a bit. I no longer have visible power cables. I can just go plop, 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 and I've got power on all of these. I can eliminate this entire upper section that is not needed anymore. There we go. Wow. Okay. This is just really nice. Oh, and even better. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, I had some power coming directly out of the reactor for a time. This needs to go as well. And then I can just put some these on the sides of those, and then I can just put that glass pane down, and it's done. Oh my gosh, this is just too good. And I think I can even upgrade something like this, because right now I've got like a speed and a blasting augment. What if I got a factory augment for this thing? Then it needs power, right? So then I just go with, oh, I've got things in front of it. Let me move these out the way, and I can put this in the front, and now we've got this factory upgrade. Nice. Let's put one of these in here, and then I can also power this one. We can have massive amounts. I'll leave one of them that's just coal powered, and it's just, this is just too good. Now, I don't know if you remembered before, but we were at what was it, like 400 million or something like that before on this thing. Yeah, it's really getting up there, and we're still keeping up just fine with the power. Dry ice, I think, has finally used its first one. It had like 12 or 13 once I put in that stuff at the beginning of the episode. Checking in on this, it looks like I've got about 240 of these so far. In fact, can I rotate this thing? Let me try the immersive hammer. Sometimes that helps. There we go. Now I can see it a little bit better. But yeah, 245 source gems. I think that this is very spammy, but still very effective. Now to try and upgrade my Sourceberry rolls. Sourceberry pies require, oh, eggs and sugar. They don't require wheat at all. Okay, well, they do require this at least. Visiting the Chimkins, I have our standard Donald here doing stuff. And I've got 4 stacks of those. Oh, wait, that's 5 stacks. 4 stacks of those for making 1 stack of Sourceberry pie. Now I just need the sugar. which of course, yes, I have a lot of that too, which is not a problem. I will just convert it. Done. And then when I go into my inventory here, after I grab these, oh, I don't have enough for a full stack. I've got enough for a half stack, which is fine. Let's make as many of these as we can. 32, that's great. And I'll put the rest of these in the system so that I can just make more in the future. And I think I can overeat these. Yes, I can. Oh, that's great. So now I can pretty much fill up my entire health bar with food, a little bit simpler. I've got myself some mana regen that is ridiculous and I can't seem to run out of anymore. I might even have to start looking into Ars Nouveau for some creative spells and abilities. I also am making the source gems. I've got power running around the entire base. It's quite the fun time that I've been having here with this. So I hope you guys have really been enjoying this. I know that I have. This is kind of exciting that I've got now wireless power around the entire base, and the fact that I can't run out of power with my current mana reserves is just feeling really strong. Maybe we go on an exploration adventure next time into the Nether and start seeing what we can do to decimate some of those mobs. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe. Don't be afraid to visit us on Twitch. We stream regularly on that platform. And we've got a new channel called Mischief of Mice 2, where we upload those VODs from Twitch on a regular basis. Until next time, folks, I'll see ya.